Hello, and thank you for clicking on my channel, Cali Legends Media. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody who has subscribed to my channel thus far. Really appreciate each and every one of you. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down below. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up. And if you'd like to be notified whenever a new video gets dropped, hit that notification bell and you'll be notified whenever I do a new video. Then later on, you can go back and watch it. Okay, so I want to ask everybody who watches these videos and sees this video what they think about this. Okay, I want to start doing a True Crime Tuesday. Every Tuesday I want to drop a video regarding true crime, something that really happened. This video is going to be the first one and the first example of such a video. And if you think it's a good idea and if you'd appreciate that, let me know in the comments section, and please hit that like button. Okay, so here we go. This story right here is something that happened to me on the way to work, okay? Let me tell you what my job was. I worked for these men who had a setup, okay? This was the setup. On 12th and Central, there was a bar and a small market. And on top of that were rooms that they used to rent out. So we used to move around from room to room, depending on what room we were going to work out of. And that's where we would sell different merchandise, okay? It was very tightly controlled. We had guys in every window upstairs in the hallways that could watch every street. And they had radios, and they'd radio us in the room and let us know if there was anything funky coming our way or hovering around downstairs on the streets. When somebody would enter the building, we'd close off all the entrances except one. So everybody came in through the same building. They had to walk upstairs. And there would be somebody at the top of the stairs directing them to whatever room we had, whether it was on the left or right. And we'd make sure that they'd go to our room. There was other people up there that were trying to do things. We'd close them down. But nevertheless, we tightly controlled the movement of the people. We'd put them in line in front of the door. We'd let 3 people in at one time. So we had a doorman inside. He'd open the door, let 3 people in, and then close the door behind them. One by one, they would approach the desk. The other 2 would stay back. I would do whatever business I had to do with that person, and then they'd go stand off to the side. I had a second person in there that was strictly security. He just stood there and just made sure everybody was cool, nobody act funky. But actually, all 3 of us were very well secured, if you know what I mean. So after we got done with those 3 people, we'd open the door, let them out, let the next 3 in, and keep doing that all night long, and it would never stop. Sometimes the line would be very, very big, and sometimes the line, it would go quickly though, 3 people at a time. So the line never really lasted that long. So sometimes we'd get somebody that we were suspicious of. We'd serve the other 2 people, hold that person off to the side. Then we'd close down and we'd ask this person questions, see where they're coming from. If we had to, we'd search them, pull their wallet, everything out of their wallet, see what cards they had, anything associated with police or any law agency. And then when we were done, if we still felt funny about them, we just tell them to leave and not to come back. Anyways, the way I got this job was, one day I went there and the girl that was working the table didn't have no security or anything. The door was open. I basically just knocked. Nobody opened the door, so I walked in myself. And she was passed out. Why? Because sometimes you'd work 48 hours straight. You know, it was good money, and if you could hang, that was all you. As many hours as you could work, and it was up to you how many hours you worked, okay? So anyways, this girl's passed out on this table. This is how I got the job. And you know, where my head was at the time, I got what I wanted. And I was leaving, and I thought about it. You know what? I'm gonna go let dude know that she's passed out and she's alone. So I go to the room where he stays, and I call him. I tell him, hey man, girl's passed out. you better go over there. I don't know how long she's been like that. He goes, do me a favor, go over there and don't let nobody in until I get there. I said, all right. So I went and stood by the door. Some people came. I turned them away. Told them come back in about 15, 20 minutes. Then dude comes over, walks in, wakes the girl up, gives her a good scolding, tells her, come on, pack up, get out of here. Leave everything you got in your pockets, any money or anything there on the table, and get out of here. Don't come back. You're fired. Fires her. So a couple of times that I went there, this guy, he was being confronted by some knuckleheads, and I helped him out, and I did it for selfish reasons. Of course, I wanted to be rewarded for my actions, and I was, and I did a good job at what I was helping him out with. He never asked. I would just, stick myself in the situation, take over it, and end it, and he appreciated that. Those times that I helped him. So, anyways. This day I'm leaving. I tell him, hey, you straight? Everything cool? He says, yeah. I go, all right, man, I'll catch you later. And I'm leaving. He goes, hey, hold up. He goes, hey, you want a job? I tell him, yeah, doing what? He says, well, you could work a room. He goes, I tell him, well, how much do I get? He says, well, I'll give you a certain merchandise. I'll tell you how much I want. And once I get that money, the rest is all you, right? So I said, yeah, man, I'll take it. I'll take that job. So I started working. There, right? And that's how I ended up getting this job. Once in a while, the cops would go, and sometimes they'd go to the wrong room because we change rooms all the time. But once in a while, they'd go to the right room, and they'd catch us in there, But, of course, the guys on the windows upstairs would radio us, tell us, hey, man, I think they're coming in. And we'd shut everything down, send everybody, tell them to spread out and start leaving 2 by 2 or whatever. And we'd be in the room packing everything up as much as we could, as quickly as we could, and getting as much in the trunk as we could so we could take with us to county jail, because we figured we were going to jail, right? But sometimes they'd just be banging on the door, and they wouldn't come in. We'd be in there, we'd just be quiet, and they'd go away, okay? And sometimes they'd be banging on the door next door, and we'd be, in our room, and we'd just be quiet, and pack up and everything. And they never got nobody. Okay. So, anyways, one day I'm late. I'm late for work, right? So I'm hauling butt to get over there, and I make a turn. In my mind, in the yellow, and it turned red on me. And I see a motorcycle cop whip around and start headed my way, and I go, man, he's gonna pull me over. And I have a 25 cal on my leg. I'm driving. So I'm like, damn, I'm looking for a chance to toss it out the window, but he was on my bumper, quick, and he's honking his police horn, lights are flashing and everything. So I just get it, and I kind of flung it under my seat, right? So I pull over. He asks me for my license registration. I give it to him. He goes and runs a make, and then he comes back over to the car. What ends up happening is he ends up giving me back my papers, my insurance, my license, and he says, "Look, I'm gonna just give you a warning, and I'm gonna let you go." He goes, "You know why I pulled you over?" And I says, "Yeah, because the light turned red on me as I was making the turn." He goes, "No, you went through the red, and you could have caused an accident." And I told him, "Well, okay, because then you're pulling me over because of the red light I went through." He says, yeah, he says, but it's all right. Go ahead. Just go. Be more careful. Gets on his bike and he takes off. So you could imagine how I felt, because at the time I get caught with that. That's an ex-con with a firearm. Either way, I would have ended up doing a little chunk of time, right? And at the time I was using bad. I would have had to go through that whole sickness and everything. And I was staying in an apartment with my first girlfriend, and I think I only had 2 kids at the time. Nevertheless, it would have been all bad, right? So he lets me go. So you can imagine how late I am now, right? First of all, I left my house late, and then I get pulled over. I'm really, really late, man. So I come around the corner, but I notice these trucks in front of this building, okay? There are these telephone trucks, like Southern Cal trucks, but some other electrical company, and they're up there, and I felt funny because I seen that before when they used those same kind of people to get close to this house that I was a family that I used to go that I was missing with, right? And they used the same kind of little thing so that they could get close and do their surveillance and stuff, and then they'd hit it, right? And I would tell them, hey, those aren't juras, those aren't workers. Nah, you're tripping, and yeah, sure enough, they'd be juras. Anyways, I felt the same thing about these guys, right? And I thought to myself, man, should I go in? Oh, hell with it. I'm gonna go around the block one time, man, and that's it. I got to get in there. You know, it is what it is. So I take off and I go around the block. And as I turn down, right down the corner of 12th and Central, down the street from the hamburgers, from the McDonald's, these vans, man, are just skidding all in front of the entrance of the hotel. And the doors fly open. There were like Dodge Caravans, black ones with tinted windows. The doors are flying open, and I see ATF, FBI, and I don't know what the other agency was, if it was Marshals or something, but they're running in there with shields, with the whole helmets and everything, with their little assault rifles and stuff. They had already popped the door open, and they're running in. You know, a gang of them. A couple more pull up, and they're securing the outside perimeter and stuff. I'm like, damn. And I just drove by and I took off. I started trying to call dude, and he's not answering his phone. He probably already knew. You know, they were probably being trucha already. They had guys upstairs on the windows with them walkies, you know, so they probably got warned. Nevertheless, they closed down that operation there. And if it wasn't for me being late that day to work, and if it wasn't for the jura to pull me over and me to go around that block, I would have been gone. No doubt about it. You know, I would have been either got caught walking in with that thing in my pocket, or I would have already got my kit, you know, my merchandise kit, and have already been setting up to serve. Nevertheless, you know, I would have got caught, no doubt, because they opened up every room upstairs, you know. Yeah, they busted down every door and even busted the owner. The owner had been warned that something was going on there, and if it didn't stop, if he allowed it to continue, that they were going to take his building from him. So anyways, everybody got busted. It was closed down, and by the skin of my teeth, I didn't go to jail that day, you know. And it's all because I was late. If I would have been there on time, I was never late, ever. I'm always on time. You know, I quit a real job to work there because I was making so much money, you know. And yeah, I would have gone to prison for a good chunk, you know. Anyways, that's the true crime story for today. And I'm gonna still, I can't help myself. You know, I don't condone this kind of activity. In fact, I'm against it. This was a time where the C-rack epidemic was at its peak. Everybody was doing it. A lot of people were doing baluchis, and we were providing everything they needed for that. It was all bad. I was helping destroy these people's lives, and I could have destroyed my own life and ended up in prison for participating. I know people say and might think it's worth the risk, but it's not. Let's hang on to our freedom. Let's be out here for our families, the ones that love us and the ones we love. You know, let's be out here for them so that when something comes up and they need our support, we're there for them, and we're not locked up and them wasting their resources and their time trying to take care of us while we're in there. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you, and I hope to see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful evening whenever you're watching this video. I hope the rest of your day is blessed. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you very much.